So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Rahu in the 8th house in your Dashamsha chart, which I know you have been waiting for literally almost 2 weeks, but I don't know why it was delayed so much. But as you know, the Dashamsha chart is a chart of obligation to society you have in your life, right? It is a chart that shows all the intricate details of your work life. You know, your daily routines in a way. So here you have Rahu. Okay, Rahu is literally, if you really want to know what Rahu is Soma. Rahu is Soma. Rahu is the elixir. Because remember, every single time, you will not hear this about any devas, any planetary deities, no Agni, no Indra. Okay? The only things you hear about when it comes to churning of the ocean, of the Amrit, the nectar, you hear sun and moon, the most dominating luminaries in our life. But mainly the main character is Rahu. It is Rahu who wanted that. See, here's the thing, one thing, and this is something I'm going to explain too when I do my Rahu transit video, is that anywhere you have Rahu in your chart, that's where you want the Amrit. That's where you want the nectar. So it is Rahu who has the potential, the power, the enthusiasm to gain that nectar. Because all the other devas, it's their routine. They're like, yeah, we always get the nectar. Okay, let's just sit down, let's do our rituals. It's a regular thing. But for somebody like Rahu, it was a very special moment. It's like a child or a kid meeting their superhero cricket player, or their football player, basketball player. For them, this is like, oh my God, I'm quietly sitting amongst the greatest players of all time and nobody noticing me. So obviously 8th house, represents surprises in work. It represents surprises in work. It represents the churning of work. You can see the reincarnation in a person's career that comes through with the 8th house. Just like the 5th house, 8th house itself represents death and rebirth of career. Meaning you lose your job and then you'll get a job somewhere else. This is why I don't even get, like, when people cry, you'll always get a job. Yes, you're stressed in that moment. I used to do that. Now I look back at it, I'm like, within a month, I always had a new job. But Rahu in the 8th, the first thing that it shows, because remember, it's the Soma that you're trying to achieve. So here, the person is always looking for a way to get the quick and biggest gain. They're always on a lookout to make money that they don't have to work this long to get this much. They want to get this much just like this portion of work. That's what happens. And so what happens here with Rahu, they look for all kinds of hidden secrets and schemes to make that big money. They look for jobs that can give big bonuses. They look for business that can pay in one day huge amounts of money. Like, for example, a stockbroker, for example, investing in crypto, investing in all kinds of, NFTs. They want that surprise element of gain, because career is career. It's gain of career. Everybody wants money out of career. Nobody wants to just do it for free. It's not a chart of internship. It's a chart of making money. And yes, those surprises come in especially in Rahu period. Rahu Dasha, Rahu Antradasha, including the 30th age. So Rahu gives these sudden surprises in a person's life. But on the other hand, if like combinations are there, conjunct Rahu, aspecting Rahu, trine from Rahu, then you can see that this person, you know, could do certain acts where they may want to attain something in not such a legitimate way. But it's only in certain conditions. Because you may find actually 10 out of 10 people who just have a normal career. But maybe that 11th person, that you may find, then you'll find some discrepancy there. And yes, we can see with this Rahu, the one always gets tied up in some scandal, especially during Rahu Dasha. Because remember, again, Rahu is also this veil of smoke, right? So a person does not know what type of action that they're taking, that they're supposed to be taking. One feels like, I can get away with this, let me just do this. So then you'll see somebody getting caught for insider trading, doing certain illegal things to get the work a contract so they can get that big commission. So these things can happen, but you have to see what's happening in the birth chart and the Dashamsha. And it's not such an easy thing, It's not such an easy thing to see in a chart that, well, this is what's going to happen. It takes a very, very strong, deep analysis to come through these conclusions. But see, Rahu is legend. Kind of like my book that I was supposed to write, The Black Legend, Rise of Rahu. Which still, I hope I get time. I haven't written it. But Rahu is a legend. Rahu is legacy. Like this nakshatra of Mriksira, Rahu represents something which is eternal, can no longer pass away or die. Venus is legacy because Venus can, literally when you're dead, it can come bring you alive. Like you will see a lot of people, sometimes some actors are dead and something happens and suddenly their movie or their album becomes a hit and people now want their album. They're getting to find out who this person is. So here one is always seeking and strongly seeking to leave some kind of a legacy in one's life. One is seeking to be remembered for something dynamic that they did. Even if it's there in their own little community, in their own little village, or if you're in a modern, city, then like social media, you want to be known on social media for a long time. So this is where, these Soma of Rahu happens. Like the Rahu is looking for Soma in the 8th house. It's looking to kind of win in a surprise way. It'll always do things in a hidden way where suddenly they can give out the last weapon, kind of like in the Avengers Endgame. How that one click, just made Iron Man the legend. So this is what happens with Rahu. They need to manifest, change things, leave legacies. And they want big gains in the 8th house. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Rahu in the 8th house of the Dashamsha chart. Subscribe below if you're not new to my channel. Otherwise, if you want to know all the things about consultations, books, reports, check out the links here at KRSastrology.com. And of course, I'm putting the videos on KRS vlogs regarding certain special placement from certain planets, which I just did with Venus, 8th from Venus. So check it out. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.